opinions on how I got so many marks, and also I'm here to suggest you some tips and tricks to take up your upcoming ICC board examinations and also the other boards with much more confidence and more motivation. So to start with, I was studying in 10th ICSE in Sudarshan Vidya Mandir. The same year I joined Sri Sai coaching classes, and this year I am studying in Diksha main campus, Bangalore, first PUC in NEET board. So now last year in ICSE board examination I scored 92 in mathematics, in physics 88, and in biology 99, and chemistry 96. So with an overall percentage of 94 in my ICSE board examination. So to start with, my 10th class in school commenced in the year of 2019 February, and I joined tuition the same month, but my classes commenced in April and May, during which I used to attend both the morning and the evening classes, and I used to solve some 30 to 40 sums each day. It was maths, and also the weekly test which was conducted throughout the year was so helpful that I could complete most of the portions, especially in maths and physics, because of the weekly tests conducted here in Sri Sai coaching classes. And also, after we got our results in the weekly test, we used to write a blue book, which was a fair copy of what we wrote in the exam. And also, we wrote the imposition book if we got low marks, which most of us did, because I was an average student when I joined Sri Sai coaching classes, and I was able to achieve so much only because of the teachers here and also in my schools, and the support from my parents, family and friends. Thank you so much. I feel so much thankful for the people who have helped me throughout last year also and this year also. They are providing the help and support which I am much needed. So first of all, if I have to start with how to learn properly during the examination at least. So first, I used to finish most of my learning in the classroom when the teacher is explaining, and the teacher explains here also and in school also. So it is like a double learning process for me. And after that, I used to write some notes in the textbook only. Whatever was taught in the class, I used to write my own notes in the textbook. Wherever there is a white space, that was the notes making for me. And whenever I used to read in detail the textbook, I used to go through that, and that will be in more concise, so that I'll be able to make it into points and write it during the exam. So next is about doubt clarification. Many people will refrain themselves from asking doubts to the teachers, or even they feel ashamed to ask doubts to their own friends because they feel it is a silly doubt. If I don't ask also, it will be fine like that. But correct your mistake while learning only. That is the main part. And next is about how to learn the textbook and the notes. I use a method of active learning. To put it across in simple words, it is just reading it aloud what is there in the textbook and explaining it to yourself. Next is after you are thorough with the whole textbook and all, you will have to revise. That is after you finish the whole chapter, or at least some part of the chapter. If you go to revise in halfway through the chapter, you will forget. There are chances you may forget what you have learned and you can't concentrate also. So next is the tests. I hold portions of 10th standard for at least 5 times. Here 2 preparatories, in my school also 2 preparatories. Midterm also I wrote the whole portion. So don't miss with any of the preparatory exam conducted here also and in school also. Don't ignore or neglect any part of the chapter. Read everything. Next is about the model papers and last year question papers. That plays a very important part because you will get to know the repeated questions, how to answer precisely and up to the point. And even if you did not get time to solve, suppose for the last minute preparing people, you can at least go through the solutions of the question papers at least. And many people tend to forget what they have read 10 days back, like that. To not forget and to retain whatever you have read in your memory, you have to revise for each 3-4 days. Whatever you have read 4 days back, if you tend to forget it today or the next day something, you're feeling like you're not able to recollect what you have read, you can revise what you have read the same day so that you can retain it in your long-term memory. So next I'm going to tell about the problems faced by the students. The first problem is students have low self-confidence level and they tend to get some health problems because of that also. I've gone through that. Anxiety disorders, insomnia, the day before the exam, if you feel like scared to take up the exams, that results in all these problems. So don't feel scared, have at least neutral level of self-confidence. Even if you did not complete reading also, you have to not forget what you have learned. So at least you have to write in the paper what you have learned. So please don't get scared, it is just an exam. Then people get distracted because of TV and all this mobile phones and all. Don't use your mobile phones more than 10 minutes during your exam time, and also use social media only for sharing question papers and solutions and asking doubt clarifications from teachers. Next is don't eat outside during exam time. And one more thing is people feel sleepy while reading. So if you feel sleepy, sleep for at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes and then start to read so that you feel more fresh. Next is not able to complete the paper. This even I have gone through many times, especially in languages, while writing essay and all. So first write the objective questions which you have to think and write. Many people tend to keep the essay for the last 10 minutes. Don't do that. Write the essay in the, like however it is given. First essay only will be given the question paper. Go according to the paper so that you can finish that comprehension or fill in the blanks in the last 10 minutes. Next, I'm going to point out some do not do's for the students. Don't talk with the people while you are revising the 15 minutes before exam, because if they have read something which you have not read, you feel scared and you forget what you are going to learn also and you panic. Don't do that. Then next is don't, this is something which I have been following since 3 years, something like mantra for me. Don't discuss the paper after you have written it. Because you feel scared that you have lost this 4 or 5 marks and then you can't concentrate in the upcoming examination. Don't discuss the paper the same day. Next, don't waste time in breaks. You have to take breaks, but it should be minimized up to some 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maximum 15 minutes. So if you go more than that, you will either be in a deep sleep or you will be watching TV or something. So please don't do that. Next is in this given situation in lockdown, you guys have been starting to see the web series, TV dramas, which is the episode or some daily soaps. So keep that for after your examination and binge watch it. Don't watch it during the exam time. Next, it is some tips for you in different subjects. First is maps in geography. Maps is something which you neglect up to the last 15 minutes like that. You can't mark the proper places if you learn it before 10 minutes before the exam. Don't do that. At least spend 15 minutes before the day of the exam and complete at least one map for you guys to mark everything properly the next day. Then dates and places in history. You take a tabulated column or form a date line like this for you to remember and recollect whatever you have read. After you have read your history book or history and civics both, you have to make a date line without seeing the book so that you can write and practice also and recollect and remember also. So next is graphs. This is the scoring part in maths. So don't keep that up to the last minute. Even if you write the x-axis, y-axis and scale also, you can get at least the minimum marks. Even if you don't know the sum or something. Formulas in physics and maths. Before starting with maths, I write all the formulas in 3 to 4 pages so that I need not go open my textbook and see all the formulas every time. After I learn the formulas, again I write it in the 3 to 4 pages without seeing it. So this helps you with your memory. Then next is equations in chemistry. This also you have to write and learn even if you did not write the reversible reaction or delta mark, you tend to lose marks there also. Then next is diagrams and labeling. This is you can spend at least 15 minutes for this before the day of the exam because many of them make mistakes. You tell that only one diagram is given, but still in objective question also this is the scoring part. They will give you the diagram and ask you to label it. So learn the diagrams properly. Next is computer application programs. I think so. Do you guys have it? In that, if you write the format, body format, at least you will get at least 5-6 marks in the total 16 marks question. This is something told by my teacher. So even if you don't know the logic or something more advanced is given, you can write the format of the program even if you don't know the logic, and so that you can get the minimum marks. So next is spelling mistakes in languages. So not only in languages, biology also many people make mistake like Malpighian, diaphragm like that. Whatever you think in your mind, that might be the spelling, but that's not the case if you see it. So for this spelling mistake, you can tell the word letter by letter aloud. Like chlorophyll means CHLOROPHYL like that. It hardly takes 4-5 seconds. And next is don't memorize the essay and history part because essay is something which you have to think and write with your own imagination. One more thing is that the topic won't be same. What you read and what is given in your board paper will be different. Then next is learn to write your own, form your own sentences, and it should be precise. In English, for Merchant of Venice and all, people tend to memorize whatever is given in the notes or the study material. Don't do that because they'll twist and give you the question or some out of the box questions may be given, so you have to learn to write on your own. And then format of letter writing, email in languages and also in English. So this is also the same. If you get confused with the format, write and practice. That is the solution for that. And next is complete the paper properly because many people first they write line by line and write the student ID properly. So I've told all the tips for you and and it is up to you to implement it in your own daily basis life and make your own timetable like that. I don't have any suggested timetable because I don't get the specific time free in a daily basis. So I keep a study target. So today I have to read 2 chapters means I'll finish that like that. I do. I don't keep a specific timings for that. If you feel comfortable with timetable, you can follow it. Then next is don't waste time eating and sleeping during breaks, and also sleep for at least 6-7 hours so that what you have read goes into your long-term memory. That is the reason why people tell to sleep during exam and don't feel sleepy. Many people read the whole night, and I've seen in a preparatory exam they come and sit and sleep in the hall. So don't do that after they finish the paper actually. And don't do that. And last minute preparing people, please start preparing now only, because the ICSE syllabus is vast. I do not put other boards. So everybody should start preparing at least a few weeks before the exam. So to conclude, I would like to say it is just an exam, only that the paper comes from the board and also the examiner might be different. That's it. Signing off, Mrs. Tarika.
Thank you, Tarikashri. We have gathered some questions from parents and students. So I request you to pick it up and answer these.
What do you want to become and why? I want to become a doctor. I'm a NEET aspirant, and because I have been always admiring the doctors who treat me, things like I tend to feel sick very frequently. So I like serving people also. So I want to become a doctor. The question is, how much time did you spend a day for studies? While I was going for school and attending tuition simultaneously, I used to read for 2.5 hours, excluding the writing part and the classwork part, and to read the whole day. So next question is, what kind of environment can help you feel happy, positive and motivated? My happy place is my room, my family, my friends, my comfort zone is so much. I have a good circle of friends, and also my teachers also motivate me all the time. So I feel independent in this. As I told, I don't take long breaks. I don't like taking long breaks also. Maximum 15 minutes I take for eating. That too, for each 3-4 hours only I take breaks. Suggestions you could like to give to the existing batch? So I told, don't feel scared, even though this is a COVID situation now. You guys have attended the online classes, but you have to write offline, so you have to start preparing now only. Studying early in the morning or studying late nights, which one do you prefer and why? Many people have their own preferences. I like to read late at night, up to 3 o'clock I can read. Morning, if I get up, there will be noise. One more thing is I will feel hungry, one more is headache. So I am not a morning person. How did you manage with your study timetable? As I told, I don't do timetables. I keep targets only. If I have to finish 10 chapters today, I will finish. That's it. Many people follow timetable who have precise timings, but I don't waste my time to make timetables also. And other distractions keep fluttering around every student. How could you overcome this situation? Okay, friends, I don't keep bad influences with me. I have only a selected amount of friends. who motivate me and encourage me. I don't feel any distraction. If I feel any distraction, I go away from them. Next, for past 2 years, I rarely attended one or two family gathering or family function. I have always given excuses to them to not go to the family function also. I used to send only my amma or her. Which are a difficult subject, how did you manage it? Physics was my most difficult subject because everything, maths will be there in that, biology will be there, chemistry will be there, so everything is a mix. So physics I had to do graphs, numerical diagrams, derivation, everything, I have formulas also. So I only got 88 marks because I used to listen very attentively in the class, and physics completely I used to make my own notes on it. And I used to read the textbook line by line. That is one more thing which I forgot to tell. Next is, did you reach your expectation in board exams? Are you satisfied with your percentage? Yeah, I expected a 90 plus percentage overall in ICSE board examination last year. So I got 94, so I achieved my. How was your confidence on the first day of your exam? In all the preparatories also, it was the same timetable as the board. So first day it was English language, so I used to not read only that first, but I got to know that in midterm examination, when I got less marks in that only, I started also. Essays, I think so, you can read some good books for that, for getting more advanced words in English, so that you can write it very fluently, and don't repeat the words which you used already. And next is English language. You have to solve the grammar book which has been prescribed by your school. What is your opinion on students being in social media? So, last year I was only using WhatsApp only for the doubt clarification and all. I am not using anything now also. So now if I have to tell, for at least for exam time, don't use social media, because 10-15 minutes you use, that's it. Because social media is something which you get addicted to very easily. Who is your inspiration and why? Till 10th, I was very goofing around. I was a very average student only. I used to not attentively listen to the class also. But after joining here, Vikas sir was teaching me. So I used to sit in the first row, and I used to see the other student, Tanushri. She used to not speak with anyone also, so I used to see her also, and in my school also I used to see the toppers, and I learned from them, and I started to push my limits. I got some 70 marks in my 9, and now I got 94 because I am an inspiration to myself. How did you set your timetable for studies? Okay, with timetable, I am not a fan of timetable because some or the other thing will be popping up, and only for examinations I used to sit and study, and that changed when I had to do this weekly tests, and I have to, for each and every week I had to read whatever has been taught. So for every week I used to finish whatever is taught. So that is the study target for me. Okay, the last question is, how did you face any challenges during the course of your academic year? How did you overcome them? Okay, so the main challenge is the noise. I get really very distracted. One more thing is TV, mobile phone normally. And one more thing was, I used to read one page for 15 minutes. That was also one more challenge which I faced. I started to learn by the teacher is explaining only. That was one more thing which I had to improve my skills in. So these were the challenges I faced during last year also now also. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tarika. Now I request Vikas sir to speak a few words about this program.
It's very good evening, one and all. So first of all, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm just here to congratulate Tarika to scoring 94%. So can we have a huge big So I thought of just thanking you and walking out of this place, but I made a note of some 2 to 3 points what Tarika said. So I thought I will just share my thoughts onto her words. Okay, the first point which she said was whenever you go for the long-term study, for example, if you study for a long number of hours continuously, if that is the case, she told that you have to definitely go for a sleep whenever you take break. So this is very harmful if that sleep goes so harsh. So if it is a just 5 or 10 minutes sleep, it's okay. But sometimes you have a tendency of not even listening to the alarm, correct? No? You throw that whatever the alarm that you have, how much ever distance you can throw, you just throw it off and just enjoy your sleep. This happens actually. So this you should not have the compromise onto this, guys. Got it? So for that I'll just tell you one important thing. The concept of snooze, you know what is a snooze in the alarm, no? So that's one of the idiotic concept which I didn't like actually. Because we set up the alarm to wake up early in the morning, right? So once we wake up early in the morning, if you want to get up at 6 o'clock, set your alarm for 6 o'clock and get up. If you want to get up at 6:10, set your alarm for 6:10 and sleep. Get up at 6:10. So I see some people setting up alarm for 5:30 thinking that they have to get up at 6 o'clock. So that half an hour grace time you have left at the setting of alarm time. And you are starting a day with a compromise. Correct now? So the snooze option I really don't like. If possible, we have to remove that particular, the concept of snooze. Correct now? Yeah, it is possible, right? So please guys, so keep this in mind. Don't ever start your day with a compromise. That's my biggest suggestion to all this generation of students. Never ever compromise, especially with the time. Especially with time. Never ever compromise. Second important thing. She told don't talk to anyone before you write your exams, at least for 15 to 20 minutes. It's the biggest advice that you have got, or a suggestion that you have got from Tarika. Because even I keep on telling this whenever we talk about the motivation sessions for the board exam students. Not only with respect to board exam student, it's not confined only to board exam students. No matter who is a student is a student, correct? No, it can be a board exam student, or there may be some different student of writing some different levels of exams. Need not be a board exam, but whenever you go to exam, don't talk to anyone. Okay, even if they come and tell you to they will talk some nonsense things sometimes. They will also talk some useful things. They'll come and discuss some formulas with you. Sometimes they'll ask you the formulas, what you have learned. Not only with respect to formulas, anything for suppose. So here you'll get distracted. Your flow of studies will go wrong. So please never ever talk to anyone. Be cool and calm. Sit in the place and write. On top of this, one more important thing I'll tell you guys. Don't, as she said, don't discuss your paper once after you come out. There is no point. You will get to know what is right and what is wrong, but you will be upset completely if some small thing has gone wrong. So it depends on person to person actually. Student to student, it depends how they react. Some people love taking up the, reviewing all the questions once after you coming out of the exam. Some people don't like doing it. Actually, to be very frank, it's not a good idea to immediately come out and check with the answers and see who has written, who has not written, why have I not written. Sometimes people may misguide you telling the wrong answers. You might be right sometimes. Correct? Once you have written, then war is over. Correct? No. So you just have to come and wait for the results. It's very important to know which is right answers. You have to know it by yourself after coming back home. You have n number of ways of getting answers. Correct? No. So you have to come back home, sit calmly and just see what are the answers that you have written and compare that with the answers that you have got in your textbooks or in your friends' books, and be happy if you have written well, and again be happy if you have not written well, because you can't do anything about it. Correct? You cannot do anything. Once it's done, that's it. So that's why you have to be very conscious before you write. After you write, if you take it very seriously, if you take it to your heart, nothing will happen. No, so it's better to take things from the beginning, right from the beginning. You got it? Yes. Next, when it comes to reading, guys, I'm telling you, it's not only for board exams. When it comes to getting prepared for exam, don't read till you go to the exam. Just now I said you don't talk to people. Don't talk to people before at least 15-20 minutes the exam, before the start of the exam. At the same time, don't read till you reach the door of the examination hall. Even that is not advisable. You got it? Because the complete revision and all will happen at the home only. Glance and all will happen at the home only. Or if your father or mother is driving, you will sit back in the two-wheeler or four-wheeler, enjoy all the revisions. Once you reach that place, you should be very cool and calm. Just go and write the exam and come back. That's how your mindset should be. Got it? Yes. Next important thing. So as you all know, like as of now, I'm working at Harvard Group of Institute. So I met a very important person there, who a very knowledgeable person. So he's the director of academic director of our place. So his name is Venugopal. So I happened to met him around 3-4 times. I met him by now. So once I met him, what happened? Like he's suddenly teaching social, which has no experience of doing it. But he is actually doing awesome. I took the review from the students also. Students were also they gave me a very positive review about that. So I was like, sir, how did it happen? So he gave me a very simple and easy trick to learn. I think most of you will face history as a challenge. Why? Because there are many things to remember. But there are some people who love history. But most of the people, if you have any memory problem, if you have no strong memory with you, then you will feel that subject is difficult. So he just told me that, okay, this is the chapter heading, sir. We have to just go for the chapter heading and create a beautiful table and write the situations in the column and start filling the column. The entire chapter will come in one table. Guys, please try doing it for one chapter. You will really get a good grip. So I visualized it immediately after I heard it from him, So it was a great idea, because normally when it comes to tabular columns, we do it in science. Most often we do it in science and mathematics. In mathematics, in mensuration also, we do some tabular column to make sure that everything is under one particular table. Correct, no? On top of that, in other science topics, for example, to remember the formulas we do. Correct? So once I met him, I got to know, okay, the tabular column, the table can also be used to learn history. One chapter can be put in a very small sheet of paper, having a table with you. So I thought that's very, 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 very good idea. So what do you say, guys? Correct, no? What do you say? Yes, so you please try it once. Whoever are facing history or any theoretical part of the subject as difficult, you can put anything and everything in the tabular column. Correct, no? So according to the way you understand, you try doing it and see how it goes. Okay? Very happy if it goes your way, or else you should have your own ways of doing things. Okay? Next is about So don't misunderstand or don't catch. See, just now Tarika told that how many hours you used to spend a day in front of books. That was the question asked. And the answer she was very particular giving, after spending valuable time at school as well as tuition, excluding the writing time, she used to spend 2.5 hours. Excluding. So please make a note of that point. I see most of the students telling, they write something continuously at one point of time and they'll tell their parents happily that, yes, my tuition is over today for 2.5 hours. And then my writing is also over, so my job is done for today. No, that is not the case. Writing is a different issue, learning is a different thing. Sometimes learning and writing happens at a time, but not with most of the students. Correct, no? So, writing means, for example, you would have some imposition to write, you have some assignments to write, you have some classwork completions to be done. So during the course of writing only, most of the things will go and sit in your brain. So on top of that, you should have a will learn one question in 1 hour, the other person can learn the same question in 1 minute or 2 minutes also. So it depends on person to person, and depends on subject to subject also. The same person who takes 1 hour to study one question of science may learn the one question of history within 2 minutes. We don't know. So it depends on student to student. So I can't have a huge debate or a talk onto this. It depends on student. So please keep this in mind. Excluding writing time. Excluding writing time. Clear? Okay. Next and last thing. Very valid point. So she just told that physics was her difficult subject, and she has scored very good marks in physics, and I would have been very happy if she had crossed 90, but still she almost reached 90, but which I was expecting actually, because once she joined here she was around 60s in physics, 60s or 70s, yeah, maybe around 60s and 70s she was there. And she didn't actually disclose it in front of me, telling that physics is so difficult. She used to sit cool and calm, and she used to focus in the class. The valid point what she made is, you have to do most of the things in the class. You got it? Your doubts should get clarified. You got it? You have to focus more. Learning should happen here only, and you should not carry anything back to home. You got it? And once just told no, she was seeing Tanushri right in front of her, continuously sitting and focusing, whatever the problem is outside. Actually, we should not talk today because today's featuring is Tarika only. But still, she raised the name. That's why I'm very happy, because see, I think most of the students they will not take the other's name, but she happily took out her name because she saw. Okay, see, this is also a try of doing the same. I have created this platform especially, to call these kind of people only, and they'll stand in front of you and share their experiences so that you see and learn. There are many things that you see and learn. There are many things that you do a mistake and learn. There is something that you will experience and learn. So learning is a common thing here, but with different things, correct? No? You see, you experience, correct? And you listen to people and you learn. So many things are there. So Tarika saw Tanushri doing very systematically how she does work, how she used to behave in the class. So maybe even that has also, given her a lot of energy and the discipline also to score good marks. What do you say, Tarika? It has helped you or not? Nothing is scripted, guys. So none of our episodes are scripted. Okay. So please, even the people who have joined online, who are watching live, I'm telling everyone that nothing is scripted. They are sharing their own experiences and thoughts. So you may, Okay, I will go. So is it for that? Clap is. You want me to leave? That's why you clap? Okay, fine. No, okay, fine, guys. So thank you, Tarika, and thank you, Anuradha ma'am, for joining us. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us, Meghana ma'am. And so thank you all, guys, and thank you all the people who have joined live with us, Facebook and Instagram live. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope it was very useful to you, the complete session. So we will be back with episode number 3 after this gets concluded. So I also would like to thank, before you take up the mic, I would like to thank both the host, Prarthana and Hamdi, so for taking up this responsibility. You did it very well. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikas sir. An investment in knowledge plays the best interest.
We thank Vikas sir for giving us an opportunity to host this program, and Tarika Shri, who accepted the humble request and shared a marvelous experience with us. It really helped in motivating the students and the gathering. I hope this will help in the preparation of exams for the students.
I thank the management of Sri Sai coaching classes who took the initiative to conduct this program. I am too thrilled about the upcoming series of this program, and I am excited to see my friends hosting this program in episode number 3. And I would like to thank all of them who have joined live in Facebook and Instagram live, and I would like to thank the gathering present here at the Thank you, everyone.